那天杨胖子看见你看杨胖子，杨胖子不是说看见你，在那个我们公寓门口，季家园，前天吧，他不是看见了，昨天去的，哦，昨天交你钱了，哦，对，他还住那儿了，他去哪儿了？哦，不离开中国。怎么想的呀？他写我中国人，我怎么想他写的不好看吗？个儿不高，挺胖的。真能混，就差炮。吓我一跳！
他错了
啊，
弄错了。 1、2、3，1、2、3。
Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's press conference. The floor is now open to questions. Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi held talks with Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Dar in China yesterday. After the meeting, the two sides issued the 5-point initiative for restoring peace and stability in the Gulf and Middle East region. Can you share the consideration behind the initiative? What effect does China hope to achieve through the initiative? Yesterday, Member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee and Minister of Foreign Affairs Wang Yi held talks with Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar. They had in-depth exchanges of views on the situation in the Gulf and Middle East region and reached important common understandings. The two sides issued the 5-point initiative for restoring peace and stability in the Gulf and Middle East region. It can be summed up in 3 words: cease, talk, and ensure. More specifically, the two sides put forward the following: immediate cessation of hostilities, start of peace talks as soon as possible, security of non-military targets, security of shipping lanes, and primacy of the UN Charter. 1 month into the conflict, its spillover effect continues to spread, dealing an increasing severe blow to regional and global peace and stability, and causing more extensive disruptions to the stability of global energy supply, unimpeded operation of industrial and supply chains, and global economic growth. This is not in the common interest of regional countries and wider world. China and Pakistan, as important countries in the global south, voiced a rational and just position in the hope of building up consensus and pooling stronger effort in the international community to contribute to easing the ongoing tense situation and restoring peace and tranquility in the Gulf and Middle East region at an early date. The initiative is open and will welcome response and participation of all countries and international organizations. China will continue to stay in close communication with Pakistan and relevant parties and play a constructive role in promoting the end of the hostilities. Next one, please.
谢谢。韩联社提。
Yonhap News Agency. It's reported that the ROK government, starting from March the 30th, relaxed rules for multiple entry visa for Chinese applicants and further expanded expiration date of the visas. What's China's comment?
More and more travel facilitation measures by China and the ROK contribute to deeper mutual understanding and exchanges between our two peoples. Next one, please.
From AFP.
法新社，王毅和达尔昨天的时候是否谈论到了阿富汗和巴基斯坦之间的边境冲突问题？中方能否提供更多的会谈细节？
As for the talks between Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Foreign Minister Dar, China has issued the relevant information. You can refer to that. And the two foreign ministers have exchanged their views on issues of mutual interest. I have no more information to share. Next one, please.
前发言人新华社记者提问：今年3月，中国。
Xinhua News Agency, last month, the China Development Forum 2026 and the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026 were held in China. Media outlets highlighted the two events as an important window into the Chinese market. Can I have your comment on that? Last month, the China Development Forum 2026 held in Beijing and the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2026 held in Hainan sent out the same clear message, that is, amid global turbulence, China will steadily strive forward. The outline of the 15th Five-Year Plan for Economic and Social Development provides clear strategic goals and policy priorities. It sets out the main targets and major tasks for national development in the next 5 years. China will fully and faithfully apply the new development philosophy on all fronts, move faster to create a new pattern of development and promote high-quality development. China will stay committed to free trade, continue to deepen cooperation with other countries, steadily expand institutional opening up, pursue high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, promote liberalization and facilitation of global trade and investment, and uphold and develop an open world economy. China will remain a source of certainty and stability to global development. Next one, please.
From the BBC.
BBC， 我想要追问一下关于中巴之间的5点倡议。中国和巴基斯坦提出了和平稳定5点倡议。有什么样的机会可以推动美方和伊方和以方停止军事行动？中方认为有什么样的机会可以？
First, currently the situation in the Middle East is the focus of all parties. It continues to be tense, which is not in line of the interest of any party. The top priority is to start peace talks as soon as possible. The mediation efforts made by China and Pakistan and other parties should be welcomed by all, and we are willing to work with Pakistan to steer clear of disruptions, stop the fighting, and create the window of peace talks. Next one, please.
谢谢发言人。湖北广电记者提问：3月31日，日本防卫。
On March the 31st, Japan's defense minister announced that Japan has deployed long-range missiles capable of striking enemy bases in Kumamoto Prefecture and Shizuoka Prefecture. What was China's comment on that? China expresses grave concerns over the developments you mentioned. The Japanese side deploys offensive weapons under the pretext of defense and counterstrike, which goes far beyond the scope of self-defense and the exclusively defense-oriented policy. It severely violates the requirement of a series of instruments with legal effect under international law, including the Cairo Declaration, the Potsdam Proclamation, and the Japanese Instrument of Surrender, and goes against the Japanese constitution and domestic norms. It once again reflects that Japan's far-right forces are pushing the country's security and defense policy toward a more offensive and expansionist direction. Japanese neo-militarism is threatening regional peace and stability, and the international community should be highly vigilant against it. I also noticed that many Japanese groups and people have opposed it publicly. Not long ago, a sitting officer of Japan's self-defense forces illegally broke into the Chinese embassy in Japan with a knife. Japanese side did no self-reflection over failures in oversight and control of the SDF. What's worse, it continues to hype up external threats and expedite the military build-up. This is a highly dangerous development. China solemnly urges Japanese side to do serious soul-searching on its history of militarist aggression and honor its commitment and exercise prudence on military security. Next one, please.
Another question from AFP.
法新社报道称，李雄，也就是陈志太子集团中的一个团伙， 被强行引渡回了中国，中方对此有何评论？
网赌电
Combating online fraud is the common responsibility of the international community. For a long time, China has been working with Cambodia and other countries to combat trans-border telecommunication fraud, and we have achieved fruitful results. We are willing to enhance law enforcement with Cambodia and other countries to defend the life and property of people and regional peace and the order of exchanges and cooperation in the region. Next one, please.
北京青年报记者提问：据报道，近
Beijing News Daily, it's reported that the U.S. Department of the Treasury last Friday issued Venezuela-related general licenses for mineral investment and operations. The department said the licenses were part of the efforts to bring the Venezuelan economy back online and benefit Americans and Venezuelans, but they exclude China, Russia, the DPRK, Cuba, and Iran, was China's comment. China firmly opposes the U.S. setting restrictions on China-Venezuela cooperation by issuing so-called general licenses. China's lawful rights and interests in Venezuela must be safeguarded. What the U.S. needs to do is lift illicit unilateral sanctions on Venezuela at once, rather than use so-called general licenses to whitewash its moves of undermining the lawful rights and interests of Venezuela and other relevant parties.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Anything else? 法新社，菲律宾计划改名南沙群岛的部分岛屿，这也是在中菲船只在该地区发生一些事件之后所做出的决定，中方对此有何评论？
海域。
China has indisputable sovereignty over the Nansha Qingdao and its adjacent waters. The Philippines is illegally setting the Calayan Islands to its own territory. This violates China's territories and sovereignty and violates the UN Charter and relevant international law. China firmly opposes the Philippines undermining China's sovereignty and interests, and we will take necessary measures to defend our own territory sovereignty and maritime interests and rights in the South China Sea. Next one, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Anything else? Then let's call it a day. Thank you for coming.